Caitlin, and it's another episode of Squad Life. And Squad Life is our weekly video series where we talk about the ups, the downs, and the buts of entrepreneurship. And today I'm talking about a topic that I think you ladies are going to love, and it's something that I don't know is well known in the online entrepreneur space, and it's this concept called mentor whiplash. So just thinking about that, I'm sure that there are some visions coming to mind about what that could mean. But what mentor whiplash is it's essentially when you are listening to a lot of different mentors, and you're getting different feedback and different advice from them, and it ends up making you feel like you have whiplash, and you're going, I'm listening to this one, and they're saying that, and I'm listening to this one, and they're saying that, and I'm listening to this one, and they're saying that, and I don't know what the fuck to do. And so this is something that in the tech world you hear about sometimes, and I myself can account for. I am definitely a victim of mentor whiplash. But that being said, the only way you can become a victim of mentor whiplash is if you yourself listen to all the advice. Nobody's telling you what advice to take and what advice to toss. So it's all, you have to own it. If you're feeling mentor whiplash, it's because you're listening to too much advice and you're ping-ponging around, you're scattered. So I want to share a couple stories. So back when I was first conceptualizing what is now, what has become squads, and it was just still this idea, I had a call with Dan Martell, and Dan Martell has a company called Clarity, and I was asking Dan, like, who should I talk to on Clarity about this business I want to build? And I said, I looked at this person and she looked interesting, and I looked at that person, and he goes, you want to talk to people who have done the thing you want to do, and who understand the market that you're going into. So I thought that was really good advice, and he named a few people that I should chat with. And at that time, I should have taken that piece of advice, and I should have put it up on a shelf, and I should have pulled it down when I needed it. But instead, I kind of forgot about it after that conversation. And in the years afterwards, as I was building up the company, I would oftentimes get really conflicting advice from mentors. Advice that went against what I myself was feeling. Advice that, went against what we were hearing from other advisors. And it would really throw me into a tailspin. And I'd be like, well, this person's so smart and they're saying to do it this way. But this person is really smart too, and they're saying not to do it that way. And like, ultimately, how do we decide what advice to take? And that is what mentor whiplash is. And so now in the years past, I have found ways to identify who are the mentors we should be listening to and how to spot a really great mentor. Because ultimately, there are lots of people in the online space who become your mentors, like, the Marie Forleos of the world or the Todd Hermans of the world. And these are people who are sharing their story with you and ultimately guiding your direction. But one of the things that you need to remember when you're following mentors online is that people will give you advice and they'll give you feedback that kind of reestablishes the things that they already believe to be true, and that they'll sell you on their solution. So if they'll say you need to learn how to do Facebook groups, it might be because they have a course that teaches you how to do Facebook groups, or you need to learn how to use this type of sales funnel. Chances are they have a course that teaches you how to do that kind of sales funnel. So when you're looking to mentors, it's really important to ask yourself, are they selling me what I need? Or are they selling me what they have? Because there's a huge difference between people who are going to sell you what they have because it's what they have to sell, and people who are going to sell you what you need because they've taken the time to get to know what you need. And so that's how you spot a great mentor. So here's how you spot a great mentor. Number one, they ask smart questions. So they don't just tell you, here's this one-size-fits-all solution, and because you're building a business, this is going to work for you. But instead, they ask the questions to help identify if, in fact, what they're selling does work for you. Number two, they take the time to understand your business. So one of the biggest red flags when it comes to choosing your mentors is if you, pitch what it is you do, and a few seconds later they're going, well, you should do X, Y, Z. Chances are they might have a lot of industry knowledge that you don't have, but also if they're that quick to give you advice and they're that quick without even asking you any other qualifying questions, you want to then be very tuned in to what that advice is and whether that advice is convenient advice because it pushes you down the path of doing what it is they want you to do or buying a product that they sell. So if somebody's not taking the time to understand your business and they're not asking smart questions, they may not be a good mentor for you. The other thing is, and this one's an obvious one, they should have no ulterior motive. So if somebody is offering you mentorship, chances are there's always give and take in every relationship. But if that mentorship comes with a price tag and the only way that you get it is that you need to pay them for it, or, in this case of tech companies, sometimes advisors will want to come on and take shares of your company to offer you advisory services. If that can often be a red flag that their motive isn't a good one and they're not a good fit for you. The other way to spot a great mentor is they challenge your assumptions. So they call you on your BS. They ask you to tell them, if you're going down a certain path or you're, doing things a certain way, they ask you why. They make sure that you're looking at all the angles. They give you objective feedback. They help you to see the stuff that you are not just seeing. So these are ways to spot a really great mentor. So if you are feeling like you have mentor whiplash because you're following all of the online entrepreneurs, you're trying to do all of the things, you're feeling like everybody's telling you a different story, you don't know which one to trust, then my advice to you is to find peer mentors who don't have an incentive as to why they're, selling you a certain solution. And more importantly, just talk to your customers in any way that you can. Figure out what your customers want from you, because while your mentors can give you circumstantial feedback and maybe they understand your market and they've seen somebody have success with a product like yours before, ultimately their advice is going to be skewed, and the people that are going to give you the most insights, the best insights, are going to be your customers. And so with this in mind, there's a caveat here too, because this is convenient advice for me to give to you. Because guess what? I'm the founder of Squads, and Squads is an online mastermind community for women entrepreneurs. And what we sell is peer mentorship, is, getting contextual feedback. So even as I give you this advice, I can tell you that I believe this advice to be true, as the other mentors in your life that sell you their solution, they believe it to be true. And ultimately, your job as a founder, your most important job, is to know what's right for your company and to stay focused and to be able to cut out the noise. And if somebody's trying to sell you something that isn't the right fit for you right now, to be able to politely decline. That's how you avoid the mentor whiplash. You don't need to say, hey, I don't need your advice, screw off. Take it politely, but you don't need to let the advice that's coming to you guide your direction, especially if it's guiding you away from what you know is already working. So with that in mind, I hope that if you're feeling mentor whiplash, that you are able to chill out and that you can block out some of the noise and really decide for yourself what's right for your business. All right, ladies, have an awesome day.